everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video. And today, I am drawing Maomao from the Apothecary Diaries, other known as Kusurio no Hitorigoto. And we're gonna stick with the Apothecary Diaries because, whoo, that's hard for me to say for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, we're drawing Maomao, and I almost wasn't gonna draw Maomao, and then I was gonna draw her again, and then I almost wasn't again. So, as you guys might not know, or you might know, I have been on a schedule, and I am behind on that schedule, like, a lot behind, because, part of it is my own laziness, but part of it is also because I sadly had a funeral come up. Those are always unexpected, and they always take a lot out of me, so because of that, it was just like, I got behind. I did get behind. And I have 2 speed paints that are coming up that both have locked dates. One of them needs to be out by the 25th, and it is only, like, loosely posed, not even fully sketched, like, at all. So that's gonna be real fun. Although if I don't get it out on the 25th, or get it out, like, on Monday, that will be fine. I will be able to live with myself. But if I do not get the next one that's date is locked, which is the 29th, I will just die. A part of me will die. No, not really. But anyway, because of that, I needed a speed paint fast. And originally, when I wrote my entire list, I think the next one was going to be my original character, Anastasia. But then I decided to change it to Maomao because me and my brother were watching the Apothecary Diaries. And it was his first time watching it, and it was probably my 3rd time watching it. I watched it once in the sub, and then again in the dub, and then I watched it with my brother. And I think I already kind of, like, toyed with the idea of doing Maomao again because I had so much fun drawing her the first time. I already did have plans, and since we were rewatching it, it just seemed like a really good opportunity. But then I realized I need a speed paint fast, so I decided to change my mind and not do Maomao, and I decided to go back to doing my original character, Anastasia Vale. And I actually did have a picture and was already halfway, not only sketched, but halfway drawn. But as soon as I opened it up, I just couldn't. I said this in my horror drawing that I actually did have a Never horror drawing that was really old, and I wanted to just continue it, but I couldn't because it was just too old, and I don't know, I guess my art skills improved or whatnot. I don't know. But point being is I started that drawing in November of last year, and I just wasn't feeling it. Like, there was, like, things in it I'm just like, I should correct those, but at the same time, I don't feel like it. I'm just not feeling this drawing, so I might do it, but it's not gonna be a speed paint. And if I do draw my character Anastasia, it will not be that illustration. It will be something completely different. So in the end, I decided to go back the route of Maomao because I came up with this idea, and it was actually pretty simple. And yeah, I did actually accomplish it fast. As you can see, by the time I sped up the speed paint, it was only about 16 minutes, give or take, in the raw form, and I don't know how many hours it took, but if it was that short, then it probably only took me about 5-6 hours, probably around that time. I usually try to speed up my speed paints relatively at a consistent speed each time, so that way they're not too fast, but not too slow. Unless it's like a really long speed paint, then I'm just like, I gotta kick it into overdrive. So yeah, this was a very easy drawing, and like last time, Maomao was very, very fun to draw, and I decided to do this dual pose, so you have Maomao in her normal outfit, and then Maomao in her dress, and to be honest, I actually was liking this entire dual aesthetic. I really wanted to delete the Maomao in the red dress that she wears at the end of season 1 and put Jinshi here because I thought that would look so nice, but I didn't have time for that. So I might make a version 2 of this drawing later on. It probably won't be a speed paint though, so stay following me on my socials if you want to see it. If I do do it though, I probably post it in my community tab as well. But for now, we're just doing dual Maomao because that was the original idea. I already had sketched out, and I really didn't want to go back and try to do Jinshi, especially because Jinshi's a male, I guess. And so, because of that, I didn't want to I really didn't want to try to draw something that I knew would take longer because, you know, you have to completely do the pose. And yeah, the pose would have been simple. It would have just been him standing. But still, you know, male anatomy, it's harder for me to figure out and such. Always harder for me to work with because I'm just used to drawing females more. And since I was on that time budget, whatever you want to call it, it's just like, I don't think it's going to work. We'll just take it. And the Maomao was, who in the red dress was already sketched, and like it looked really pretty. So, well, actually no, it wasn't even just sketched, it was line art, because by the time I didn't think of the dual idea of Maomao and Jinshi until after I got this Maomao colored. So yeah, it wasn't until way down the line. I absolutely adore Maomao's hair. Green is not my favorite color. I think in lines of colors, I think green's like way down the line. It's not orange levels of hatred. I do like green a lot, but it's definitely not my favorite color, but it looks so beautiful, especially when it's this shade of green. You get this nice shiny emerald kind of green, and it just looks peak beautiful. I do like green when it's, green is a neutral color, so I do like it when it tints a little bit more, hints, leans, whooshes, words, what are they? I do like it when it is a little bit more blue-green than yellow-green. I gotta think now. What would my favorite colors be? My favorite color is obviously blue, and almost all shades of blue, from cyan, aqua, royal blue, to periwinkle. But definitely cyan, royal blue, and aqua are probably my most favorites. Oh, and sky blue. I love sky blue. And then probably purple tied was black, and then different shades of pink tied was red, and then green, and then yellow, and then orange. Not that I dislike those colors, just that I do think that it is more, they can be really pretty, but I do like the other ones more. So for the hair, I decided to actually shade it in a different way. Usually I do the brush thing, which you actually did see me doing in the beginning, but this time I decided to use the select tool. I don't know why I decided to try it out. I just thought it would be a lot easier, and it was really fun. So I just pretty much used the select tool, and then I kind of shaped it up with the brush. Because usually what I will do when I'm coloring the hair is I will make huge strokes with my brush, and then I will just erase with the eraser tool, or I'll make the pen into eraser tool and just kind of polish it up and make the actual shine lines or shadow lines, that making them curve appropriately to the hair and such. But this time I decided to use the select tool, and I gotta say, it was really fun, and it definitely worked with the highlights. With the shadows though, I did tend to go my more usual route, where so I'll either make big strokes and then I'll polish them up and redefine them by erasing and stuff like that and making them way more smaller, or I'll do what I'm doing here, where I'll make like the outline of it, and then I'll just bucket fill it in. Fill it in with the bucket tool. There we go. The English language is not my friend today, like at all, and that's a real crime shame, because if the English language is not my friend, I don't know what I'm gonna speak with. Maybe I'll go Aussie. Ade, mate. Oh no, that sounded horrible. I gotta stop. But yeah, coloring this drawing was definitely fun. Kind of going for a more smoother, glossy vibe, definitely, especially with the hair, but I still wanted everything to have a very soft edge, so nothing too sharp, but I did want it to still look polished and shiny, if you get what I mean. And like I said, it was just really fun, especially because when I look at, so when you're looking at other people's illustrations, which I always do, especially for inspiration for the characters that I'm drawing, you just need to make sure you do it carefully, because you might get too much inspiration, and then people might accuse you of plagiarism. It's like, oh my goodness, you stole our idea. It's like the last thing you want. the last thing you want as an artist is to be accused of inoriginality and have your fan art be like someone else's fan art. It's just like, nah. It's not good. Save yourself the trouble. People might come after you with pitchforks and everything. And then also, it's just like, as an artist, you want to be original. At least I want to be original. So you always gotta be careful when you're looking at other people's artwork for inspiration. But nonetheless, usually what I do actually is I don't look at inspiration for other people's art until after I got my own idea picked out. At the very least, if not on the paper, then in the brain noggin. I might look up ideas of things that people did similar to what I want, but even then, it's not the same character. So, for example, like for my Haru drawing, I was inspired by a different pose that I saw. It wasn't even like a anime picture. I think it was a real life picture that I saw, and that was what I was inspired off of. And by the time I was done, it actually looked nothing like the inspiration photo. That's why I don't bother really showing it. And then after I was done, I then looked at other people's illustrations of Haru to see how they colored her, and that's what I did with these Maomao drawing. Although the pose wasn't inspired off of a real photo, it was actually inspired off of the 4th opening, or season 2's 2nd opening, which is called Kushiki, and I butchered that word probably, but I think it means wonder or something like that. I really do like that opening, which is funny because that and both Lulu are done by Mrs. Green Apple. I first heard that band from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V. They did the song Speaking. I think that was actually one of their breakout songs, actually. I don't know if they did any animes before that. I don't think so. I know they did songs, but I don't think they did animes or whatnot. Maybe they did one, but Speaking I definitely know was one of their earliest breakouts. But I've liked a lot of the songs that I've heard from them. It's only been a few though. Lulu, Inferno, Speaking, and Kushiki. So yeah, only 4 songs. But out of those 4 songs, I have liked every one of them. So that's something to say. And I wasn't even sure if I would like them, to be honest, because both Lulu and Kushiki, I was like, do I like this? But then the more I start hearing it, it's like, I actually really do like this. It sounds really good. So yeah, that was nice. And at the beginning of the opening of Kushiki, there's a Maomao, and I really do like that opening visually. It's really pretty how you can't see anybody's eyes because they're all covered up with masks, and Maomao's is covered up by the credits, and she's looking down, so that's what inspired this one. And I decided to do the whole entire dual concept, just because I thought it would make the drawing look a little bit more interesting, and I didn't want it to be too simple. I never like my drawings to be too simple. Sometimes there's beauty in simplicity, I do acknowledge that, but nonetheless, I can't resist putting a little extra. And speaking of extra, I had to completely recolor the skin. I thought I could go the lazy route and just copy and paste the skin and just kind of fix it up, but then I realized, I really want the light source to be in a completely different direction. Like, since she's upside down, it's from the same direction, but if you're looking at it right side up, then it looks like it's from a different direction and such. So I had to completely readjust the lighting, and then also I had to completely rechange the colors because the lighting is different. It's more in dark light, whereas the other one is in, well, light. You get what I'm saying. One's in a darker nighttime setting, and the other Maomao is in a more sunsetty evening twilight setting. So one's got a golden tint to it, whereas this one would more have a blue tint to it. So the skin's got to be more paler and purple, kind of. You get what I'm saying, hopefully. So yeah, no shortcuts here, but in the end, it still was for the better because it looks nicer, and it turned out really good, and it didn't take me that long anyway. It was very easy, and I love coloring the eyes. I think that's what I was saying, but then I ended up trailing off, is that not just the fan art of Maomao looks amazing, but even the promotional art looks really good. Like, they put like hints of different colors in her eyes. Like, it's not just blue in there, it's like specks of orange or green, and in her hair you can see like flecks of yellow or blue, and it looks absolutely stunning. The promotional art for Apothecary Diaries is beautiful, and I always love it when they do like go the extra, like, you can tell there's a lot lot of artistic vision in each of the posters. Same thing with Frieren, actually, kind of. I ended up watching both of these and Frieren at the same time, and I really did like them. For one thing, it was nice to see female characters that aren't actually annoying. I actually really do like Maomao because, and I'm not saying this to just copy, it is the truth. I actually like her a lot because she reminds me a lot of my Masato, Yushoko, original character. And I know I didn't copy Maomao. I already had these traits down before I saw Maomao. It's just that when I saw Maomao, I was like, oh my goodness, it kind of reminds me. And sometimes when I see something that reminds me of something in my story, I just kind of latch onto it. That's the only reason why I even have some of Rachel Zegler's songs from the Fifth Hunger Games movie, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because the songs kind of reminded me of Masato, and was Maomao, it's kind of the same. Although I actually like Apothecary Diaries. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the book was okay, actually. I did like it, but I didn't like it as much as the other ones. The movie was, I don't know, because I didn't like some of the actors in it. But yeah, in the case of Maomao, I just like it. She's very cold, very cynical, but also not a jerk, and she does care. She just can't because she can't afford to. And then there are other times that she'll just turn into a gremlin because she's just so passionate about some things, and I really like that. Anyway, that was the drawing. I hope you liked. If you did, do all the YouTube things. If you did not, thank you so much for watching this far anyway. It means a lot to me either way, and I will be back with another one hopefully this Saturday, and if not, I'll be punching myself. Until then, bye! And go. Hello everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this. Why do I sound like that? Help. And go. Hello everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video, and today we are drawing, why do I say we? It's not a we. This is not communist Russia. And go. Hello everybody, I'm Merisu the Art Sheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video, and today we are drawing, why? And go. Hello everybody, oh, that was way too loud.